So, would you like to introduce yourself first?
Yeah. So I'm Julie. I'm the development worker for the community action team, and CareZone is part of one of the companies or one of the charity areas that I cover. Um, my background is that I spent 3 years speaking to CareZone clients on the phones. So I am very passionate that they get what they need when they need it.
And for somebody who's never been here, doesn't know anything about it, what is Care Zone?
So CareZone is a recycling project, but it has that element to it. But it's here to provide emergency crisis furniture for people who don't have it and don't have the money to buy it.
Okay. Now we're sitting here at the moment in the depot, if you like.
Mm-hmm.
Just explain to people what sort of things are here. We've got, I mean, obviously people can see, but the
Mm,
range of items that you've got
yeah.
here.
So in here we will have a massive range of items, but primarily our top five are beds, wardrobes, chests of drawers, tables and chairs, and sofas, because we deem those to be large essential items that people need in their house. And so we'll have a lot of those, hopefully. Um, but then there'll be smaller furniture items, TV units, bedside cabinets, coffee tables, and then the other more random things. We always say we don't turn anything away, and we try and find homes for everything that are brought to us. But we will also then have things for babies and children, so cots, prams, we've got feeding chairs, tables that you can change babies on, and then we've got small household items, because obviously we're housing, or we're furnishing houses that don't have anything. So if you move into a house and it's just a shell, you don't only need your furniture, you need small household items. So you need bedding, you need towels, you need duvets, pillows, crockery, cutlery, pots and pans, cooking utensils, baking trays, storage, all that kind of thing. So we've got a large area over there, and curtains, we do curtains, so that we can pretty much furnish a house and give people what they need to kind of move on with their lives.
And so, how does it work? How does the process work? Somebody's
Mm.
arrived maybe from another city, from another country,
Mm-hmm.
etc. How does it work? How do you get involved with it, and how does it all work?
Okay, so somebody doesn't come direct to CareZone, and part of what I used to do is advise people as to where to get a referral. So we do ask for referrals for two reasons. One is so that we know every piece of furniture goes to somebody who really needs it and they've been assessed. And secondly, so that we know that they have an agency around them that is supporting them further than we can. And that's really important to us, because we want to be client focused, person focused, not just process focused. It isn't just about furniture for us. It is actually about the person, and that they experience love, care, dignity, respect, and hope. That's really important to us. So let's say, for instance, you had come from a hostel, you are being moved into your property by the council, and you have nothing. There are various agencies that could support you depending on your circumstances. So it is fairly subjective to the person. Council make a lot of referrals to us. Housing associations make a lot of referrals. Also, some charities, particularly schools now, and also so school inclusion workers and GP prescribers, social prescribers, because they're now almost like frontline social services. So if they look at you and think, oh goodness, or if you have a family and say your children can't work because they haven't got a bed to sleep in, then they can't learn, or um, or you are getting poorly because you don't have proper furniture, then they can refer into us. Um, and just as an aside, on that note, there was a report out at the end of last year that showed that 1 million children in this country do not have a bed to sleep on. I mean, 1 million children, that is just a
Appalling.
shocking statistic. Some of those children are sofa surfing, some of them are in temporary accommodation, but they don't have their own bed. So CareZone exists to combat that, or to be an answer to that in the short term.
Okay. So then you get the referral,
Mm-hmm.
and then you speak to the client or
Yeah,
other person and help them with decide on what they'd like, what they need,
yeah.
and how do they get the sofas? I mean, you saw out there
Yeah,
that.
so somebody will get the referral, we'll book them an appointment, either, or their agency will book them an appointment either by telephone or face to face. We love face to face because we love meeting our clients, give them nice coffee, have a chat, help to make them feel loved. And then they will be able to choose. If they come to their face-to-face, they'll choose with their eyes, and they can look at an iPad where everything's been catalogued, and so they can choose the furniture that they want. If it's on the telephone, they choose with their ears, and our volunteers work really, really hard to describe the furniture and make sure that it kind of matches, and so something is really appropriate for the client. And then it's all put together in an order with their small household items as well, and then we deliver it out to them. And all of that furniture is free. We don't charge anything for it.
And how do they feel when they see their sort of house starting to take shape?
Well, I think from the minute they walk into a care zone session, they start to feel this is a bit different. They're feeling loved, and they're hopefully feeling dignified and seen, which is really important, because a lot of the people that we deal with have become very unseen to themselves as well as to everybody else. And so a lot of the time at their appointment, they will express, they'll cry, or they'll get quite emotional. And I did one yesterday where I spoke to somebody on the phone, and he said, "It's made my heart so happy talking to you today." And that's such a great thing, because we're changing something for somebody. This is the start of a different journey for them. So that's wonderful. And I had a lady once she was in an extended family. Her husband died. Her family had effectively thrown her out. His family had thrown her out with her daughter. She had a shell of a house that he'd left her that couldn't be lived in, had nothing in it. They wouldn't let her take any furniture. She was completely stuck. So we were able to give her furniture. We were able to source her white goods, because we can signpost to those sorts of things if they're available through the council. Various things we were able to give her. She cried, and her referral worker actually cried. And quite often people, when we deliver, the drivers will say that they turn up to a house and children are jumping up and down, so excited that they've got furniture. Parents are overwhelmed. And they also, the fact that some of it's new, if we are able to have any new furniture from donations or really good quality, they're bowled over by that. And they're not in a space where they've experienced that for a long time. So it's really wonderful to see their responses. And we know it's not just their response then, it's actually making a difference from that moment onwards. We've made a house a home, and that's a really big thing.
So you've got some statistics of interest for us as well. Yeah.
Well, I think this is these are interesting statistics, because I think people in general don't know how much need there is in the city. I was quite shocked when I came to work here at how many people we were needing to help. And obviously during the cost of living crisis that started sort of 2 years ago, we saw a 35% increase in the need. But then, because not many people have got so much furniture to give away, we also saw a drop in our donations. So for instance, in 2024, we served 835 houses. That's 835 families that didn't have furniture and needed emergency furniture, which I think is a lot. And that was 3,011 items of furniture that we shipped. That's just large furniture. That's not small household items and the pots and pans and the towels and everything. I'm just reading this because this is fairly new to us. So last year, the statistics I just gave you were 2023's. Last year it's holding. It's just a bit increased, and we had 874 referrals for households, and we distributed 3,637 items, not including small household packs.
That's quite a bit. I mean, we're talking, what, two and a half people a day, 2.5 households a day, I should say.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's...
So we've got around 50 volunteers. We couldn't do any of what we do without volunteers. We only, as far as paid staff goes, we have a manager and an administrator and 2 drivers, and that's it. So nothing, all the referrals, all of the client contact, all of the furniture sorting, all of the, a lot of the delivery is managed by volunteers. They are absolutely wonderful. They really care about people, and they step into our clients' lives and make a difference. And for that, we are really, really grateful. So it is quite we're quite, when we look back at our statistics, we're like, oh goodness, did we do that much? And considering we don't work every day, and we don't work all day, that is quite a brilliant statistic. We have started opening on a Saturday for donations as well. When I say it's a brilliant statistic, it's not, because it represents need. So that makes us sad. But the fact that we can actually meet that need in some capacity and make people in Peterborough, those people who are really vulnerable and have just been let down by life, make them feel seen and loved and heard, and so they know that they matter to somebody. That's just really, really vital to us.
Yeah. People may have picked up as well in the background some hammering noise,
Yeah.
because some of the furniture you have has to be obviously assembled before it
Yeah.
goes out, right? How does that?
Yeah.
How does it work? Like,
We've got a couple of volunteers who come in twice a week, and they put things together that either have been delivered to us, like a bed maybe that's been delivered to us in pieces. We need to check it's all there before we put it on the catalogue. Occasionally we are able to purchase, if we get any funding, because we don't have regular donors right now. Or I say we've got our first regular small donor monthly, but it's a small amount. We don't have any regular financial donors, but when we do get some money, then we will buy things that we know people need. So they'll be putting together things like chests of drawers and bedside cabinets, and then they're ready to go out.
yeah. So you're saying about some of the houses that you furnish from people who aren't British or have come here as refugees, or
Yeah, so we work alongside the council to furnish refugee houses from Ukraine, Afghan houses and Syrian houses, and so that is a council partnership. So they will buy some of the things. We will provide some of those things, and we'll go into that house and then check it out, see what they need. And these are often quite large families as well.
yeah.
And so we will then furnish that. So when somebody comes, they are able to move into a property that's got the things in that they need.
People who've literally come from war zones.
Absolutely. And you've no idea the journeys that they've taken. You know, we see this, and I know there's a lot of politics around it. We are apolitical here. If you need help, we will help you. And that's a really good way to be, you know, from our point of view. So we're not talking about whether they deserve it. We don't have that here, because they come to us from an agency who has assessed them as being in need. We never talk about that. We get to love them and supply what they need.
And you just wanted to mention the boxes as well.
Yeah. So when somebody has been rough sleeping, and they are found by the rough sleeper team, and they're given an opportunity to go into a hostel, they will arrive at the hostel with just the things they had on the street, and they're usually not suitable to be used anymore, and they won't have anything that they need for that first night in accommodation. So we make up boxes, we call them household essential packs, and the rough sleeper team can come, and without a referral, they can come, sign one out and take them, and that has things like a duvet, a pillow, bedding, a towel, a bowl, a spoon, a knife, a fork, a plate. Then we put in things that you don't really think of unless you go camping or you do a lot of Airbnb. Things like maybe washing up liquid, or a bin liner, shower gel, toothpaste,
Toilet roll. Yeah.
Absolutely. Things that are really essential, but they're just things that you wouldn't think of. So the first night they get into accommodation, they've got a bed, they've got a roof over their head, and they've got the things they need to be able to function.
What are you short of at the moment, or what can people give that you really need?
Well, if you're really interested, you can go to the Care Zone. If you put in Care Zone Peterborough into Google, you'll find our website, and it's got some things on there. But generally, we need all types of furniture that I mentioned before. We're always short of beds that are clean and in good condition. And it's really important to us that the things that are donated to us, they don't have to be new at all. They can be quite, old things, but they do need to be clean and in good condition. No stains, marks, tears or damage, because that's a way of communicating dignity and respect to our clients. I don't think you would want to receive a mattress with somebody else's stain on it. That would not be good.
I would not, no.
No, so...
it's almost insulting, isn't it?
Well, it further kind of solidifies a negative opinion of yourself and the world around you.
Yeah.
And we want to challenge that. So beds and mattresses are really important. And £100 will buy a bed and a mattress, because we've got a place we can go to get that. Or having those donated, they're really, that's really important. Things like chests of drawers, in good condition, those kind of items. Beds are our big one at the moment. but any furniture that you have, you can ring us, and we can talk about collection. If it's the large items, we can come and collect it in the Peterborough Council tax area for free. So that's a win. As far as the small household goes, we always need duvets, clean and unmarked duvets, particularly singles and doubles, pillows, and pots and pans. We don't have any saucepans or fry pans in the building at the moment. And as you can probably tell from the building, our logistically, our stock is very fluid. We never know what's coming through our doors, who's going to turn up. I know you yourself bought a duvet, didn't you?
I did.
And so you never know who's going to bring a duvet, who's going to bring a bed, who's going to bring a chest of drawers. It's just it comes when it comes. And so we need to be able to keep our stock levels a certain level so we can give people what they need. So pots and pans, definitely.
And just for yourself, I guess, just sort of wrapping it up, I suppose. What are your hopes for this place? What are your ambitions? Is there anything more you want to bring in, like sponsors and things? I guess in the end, in a weird sort of way, you'd like to be able to sort of shrink down because people don't need it in the end.
Ideally, we'd say we're shutting this place because it's no longer necessary. That's strangely, that would be the dream. But realistically, you know, poverty is around us, and so our dream, I think, for me, is to be able to give people what they need when they need it. Instead of saying you have to ring back next week because we don't have any beds today, we really want to be able to give people what they need when they need it. So to have enough stock in here, and that's a difficult thing to quantify, but to be able to have enough stock to give away what we need, but also if we can start to get some regular financial donations, then we know we've got some money to go and buy those things should we need them. We can go and buy the pots and pans that we need. So one company, TC Harrison, locally has committed to giving us some money each month. And that's enough to buy 20 single duvets every month, which is fantastic. Now, if we had, I don't know, 50 companies who said, yeah, we can give you £100 a month, then that's a decent amount of money that we can then use to buy the things that we need. And it also, you know, it's a way of companies investing in their community. And there's a lot of companies across Peterborough, even individuals that might want to say, well, okay, I can't do that, but I could do a monthly donation, or even to go online and say, I can give you enough for a bed. You know, to see the community come together and support itself is wonderful. And Peterborough is a supportive place. There's a lot of negative things said about Peterborough, but the people of Peterborough know how to come together and help each other. And this is a great example of how that works. And I think that my dream is that that carries on. And so people then step up and say, yeah, I can do a bit every month. I can support that.
We'll just say you wanted to mention a particular line that you say as well about this place.
So I mean, last year I think I said we delivered 3,600 large, you know, items as well as furniture, and you can see all the, you know, some of these things in the background, and behind you are beds and things. And one of the things I always say when I'm training people or when I'm explaining Care Zone is that the people we deal with have often been let down by life. They've been let down by the people around them sometimes. And sometimes, as a result of that, they've let themselves down. And so they are at the lowest ebb. And these pieces of furniture, they are seeds for a new life. I'm going to get emotional. They symbolise a life to come that's better. And so if you don't look at it like a bed or a wardrobe or, a chest of drawers, you look at it and you think that symbolises something, my life's going to get better from now onwards. And that is, to be able to put hope into people's houses in that way is phenomenal.